Welcome to part 11 of the SN Pixel V4 app tutorial. Today we're going to be looking at Pre-Ons. We'll have a look at the existing ones and how to manipulate them, and we are going to create a new one. There are an unlimited number of different ideas that you can come up with. So I created my own style using a sound font Pre-On from grayscalefonts.com. I will download that font, show you how to install the Pre-On, and then we'll switch over to the Bluetooth app. So first, head over to grayscalefonts.com, and we're just going to pick free sound fonts so that you can follow along. And the sound font that I downloaded is the first one, called Stitched. I will click download. And for SN Pixel, we want to choose Profi. Click download. Open the download folder. We'll extract all. Press extract. And here it is. Now there are a few files that we won't need for SN Pixel. So we don't need config, Profi blade style, smooth swing, and we can just delete those. So you can see that there is a Pre-On folder. We can listen to the Pre-On sound effect. And what you want to look at is the time. So this is 6 seconds approximately. Could be 5.8 seconds, but it's okay. 6 seconds is what we need to know. Now we need to copy this new sound font to the Saber. So I will insert the MicroSD card. I'm going to drag the USB drive to the left and the sound font folder on the right. We need to create a new folder. So I have 29 sound fonts plus all these other ones that are hidden that I just moved over here. We'll create a folder. You can use numbers or you can call it the actual name of the sound font, but we're just going to put number 30. And I'm going to copy all my files into that folder. Next thing is we need to go into the Pre-On folder. We need to copy one of these Pre-Ons into a different folder. To me, they all sound the same, so I'm just going to copy Pre-On 1 and go back up and go into the set folder. We're going to paste it, and we need to rename it. So if you have a look, these are the built-in Pre-On sound effects, and we need to name this one the next available number. So it's going to be Pre-On 12, and make sure that you label it exactly the same. Like so. And if we rearrange it, it should be right underneath number 11. So there it is. All right, now the MicroSD card has the new sound font and a new Pre-On. We can safely eject it and move on to the Bluetooth app. On your phone, open up the Force Park app.
Bluetooth connected.
Wait till you hear that sound, and the Bluetooth icon at the bottom will be lit up blue. First thing we're going to look at are the pre-installed Pre-Ons. So we tap on Local, choose Pre-On, and there you can see them, and you can also see the last one that I've created. So the first one, we'll play it. That's your broken ignition, phaser, stacked, warp, and so forth. So let's have a look at the warp ignition. I'm going to click on the pencil to edit it, and let's have a look at light effect frame 1. So it shows that the time is 1200 milliseconds. So that tells you that the length of the audio file is 1.2 seconds. And you want the frame to be black, because what you're doing is you're covering up the color of the saber, or making it dim, and you use black for that. So that's important, that you have the first light effect frame as black and the time set to whatever the corresponding time is. They have the position and length set accordingly for the effect, and that is to allow us to see the saber igniting from the bottom towards the hilt and at the tip as well. So change position and length in set time. This is the motion of the two sections of blade attaching at the middle. It's delayed for 800 milliseconds and it lasts 400 milliseconds. Now, if you're wondering what the top time and the bottom time does, the top time is the total length of the effect. The bottom time is how many times to perform the effect within 400 milliseconds. So if the two numbers match, that means it's going to do it once. If I switch this to 200 milliseconds, can you guess what's going to happen? Well, let's have a look. And if you didn't see that, I'll play it again. You notice that it does it twice, because 200 is half of 400. So it performs the effect twice. And if I switch it to 100, you should figure out that it's going to perform the effect 4 times, once every 100 milliseconds, up to 400 milliseconds. So 1, 2, 3, 4, really fast. Again. So that is how timing works when you're doing an effect. We'll load up another one. We'll do stacked ignition next. So again, light effect frame, it's always black. The time is set to the same time as the audio file. And this is using launch light effect. And the total time of the effect matches the length of the audio file. So we could also click to the tip, and that would reverse the direction, which we don't want to do. And then quantity. So if we wanted the pieces to be smaller, we can reduce the quantity. Or sorry, if you want the pieces to be larger, you'd reduce the quantity, which also makes the effect appear slower. And if we want lots of pieces, we can make it smaller. Alright, so now that you kind of have an idea of light effect frame 1 and how important it is that the time matches the sound file and the color is black, and then you can tinker with the effect, the duration of it, how many times it plays within its time limit, and you can alter direction. Yeah, the best thing is for you to just try it and play with them and see what you come up with. I'm going to load the Pre-On 101 that I created. So this has a whole bunch of different effects. It did take me a while to get it right, but I will play it for you so you can see how it looks. I will send it to the saber. Actually, first I'm going to go to Control.
Magenta.
Alright, so Sound Font 30 is the new one that I downloaded and put on the saber. Right now it's just going to have a standard ignition. So I'm going to send this new Pre-On. And it's going to ask me what sound file do I want to use. And you can see the audio path underneath there that says Pre-On 1. Well, that's not the one we want because we know it is Pre-On 12, like that. There is an option to override the out light. Some Pre-Ons have an out sound effect built into them, and that is when you would want to have that checked. This one does not though, so we're going to leave it like that. Press OK. And now let's have a look at the Pre-On. And that is what I came up with. I'm going to reduce the exposure so you can see the effect a little better. And one more time. Now let me show you what I did to create that. So light effect frame 1, remember that it's always black and you want the time to match the sound effect. So we know that the time of that sound effect is 6 seconds. So 6 seconds is 6,000 milliseconds. I have the position at 0, the length 100. So the entire blade is going to be black, dim. Light effect frame 2, I have set to 5,500 milliseconds. And the color I have set to transparent. And the reason for that is because I have my colors set within the frame, not the frame itself. The first one I have is more colors, gradual change in set position. Again, I have the time set to 5,500 milliseconds, the gradual change length 70, color length 35, and moving speed 3. And I have two colors, red and orange, because again, red and orange blend together, it creates a fire kind of looking effect. You can add more colors if you like, you can adjust the speed if you like, and you can adjust the length of each color. I'm just going to leave it the way it is. The next setting is change position and length in set time. So I have this set to 2,400 milliseconds, and the length is at 30. So it's going to creep up the blade to 30% and then stop. And it's going to do that effect for a total of 2,400 milliseconds. The last one is where it retracts back into the hilt. So I have a delay set for 3,000 milliseconds. So I want it to wait 3 seconds before retracting back, and the time it takes to retract back, 1,400 milliseconds. End position 0, length 0, meaning that it's completely retracted, and speed 0. The next light effect frame, which is number 3, this is the very last effect that you see. After it retracts, it has that yellow glow, and then it moves a little bit, and then finally the out happens. So you can see the delay is set to 4,400 milliseconds. It's going to last for 1,200 milliseconds. The length is 10, so it's just going to come out a little bit, and the color is yellow. And then more gradual change in set position, the very last line. 1,200 milliseconds, so it's going to happen immediately. The gradual change length of 5, the color length of 1, and the moving speed of 1. You're going to notice that when I play the effect, that is light effect frame 2 right there. And then that little section there where it moves back and forth is light effect frame 3. One more time. So that's light effect frame 2, and then light effect frame 3, and then the out. Now, feel free to rewind and watch this and pause it and follow along and copy this one. And I think it looks pretty cool. A lot of trial and error. Like, believe me, it's not something you're going to get exactly right on the first try. And if you do, bravo. You're going to be playing with the timings a lot because you want those timings to match up with the sound effect. And one more time. Let's have a look at the effect. So there's light effect frame 2, ending, light effect frame 3, and go. And I think I did a pretty good job matching it up with the audio. I am very happy with it. That will end part 11, the Pre-On tutorial. If you do have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the comment section. Thank you for watching.